Hello, amazing crew. How's everybody going today? You're in luck today, those of you that are not in my online crew coaching community, because I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what we're running through in the What's Working Now Bootcamp in our coaching community, which starts straight after this Facebook Live and goes on tomorrow and the next day. But I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek about what we're talking about, which is going to be 9 post-delivery ideas that are working right now on social media. So you might want to grab a little pen and piece of paper. Those of you in the coaching community, don't worry, I've got typed up notes for you. Again, I'm so good to you guys. So I've got it all typed up so you don't need to write these down because I've got you guys covered. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How is everybody doing? If we haven't met before, my name is Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. That's just a little bit of fun we have here with our community of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in network marketing, MLM. And what we do here is learn modern social media strategies to build our business online. So effectively what we're trying to achieve is getting people to attract people to us, if you like, rather than chasing anybody to buy anything off us or trying to convince somebody to join us in our business. We truly want to attract people to us. But, a great way to do that is through social media. Now, depending on the strategies that we use, what we execute, those kind of things, it can either work really well for you or not, basically, by what you do on social media. So we try to keep you updated with all the things that are going on, to try to help you attract people to you. Now, one of the things that's really important is to be, really in tune with what works today. So there are things on social media that worked, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and people are still using those strategies, but they may not be effective today. So where there are things, especially in the environment that we've been in the last couple of months, there are things that are different now. And there are things that you can post that are different and talking the right kind of language to what's going on now. There's also post delivery styles. And what I mean by that is different forms of posts, like a post in your news feed or an image or things like that. So that'll become clearer as I go through the content in this particular video. So if you would like to join us in our coaching community for our What's Working Now Bootcamp, which starts straight after this video and tomorrow and the next day for an hour or so on each of those days, depending on how long we go for. It's all recorded too. Then you just need to click the link above and get all the details there. You can actually join us for $1. Have a look around for a few days, and if you don't like it, then you can leave. No obligation. All the details are up above. Also, thank you to Group 16 of the branding course for an awesome call yesterday. So I run a branding course, once a month, once every couple of months, and work with a group of people for, a few weeks on establishing their brand. And we had our first live Zoom call yesterday for Group 16, and it was a great call. So thank you guys for all your input and discussion. That was awesome. And also remember that the next video challenge, which is only 14 days, guys, it's an easy one to jump on. That is starting on the 25th of June. So the group is currently open just to join and do your prep work to get started. There's some bonus points that you can, start accruing now before we start on the 25th. I will be going live in the group over the weekend to give you guys a heads up and say hello and get prepared for next week. Okay. So if you want to get in on that, you just need to go to my website, which is helenmartinonline.com. There is a graphic on the front page there which talks about the 14-day video challenge. You click that image and it'll take you to request to join the group. That is all you need to do because it's completely for free. I give you all the content, the guidance, and all the rest of it. So that's what's coming up. So who is here today? We got Heather. Hello, Heather. How are you? Good to see you on. Heather's one of our VIP mentor students. Crystal, how are you? Life member in our coaching community. That's all the emojis. If you're new to the community, what this all means is the palm tree is for our community here. The fish is for those watching. So some of you may be watching from my free group, which is called Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. So those of you get to use the fish. Those in my coaching community get to use the cruise ship emojis. So that signifies those guys. And the anchor is for those that are a life member in my coaching community. And the wave is for those in my VIP program. I will miss the boot camp today as it's mine and hubby's 3-year wedding anniversary. Awesome. Happy wedding anniversary, Crystal. I hope you enjoy your time. That's what the replays are for, so no worries there. Hey, Mel, life member. Susan, life member and VIP. Good to see you on. We got, Mel's saying hello to everyone. We got Gloria's life member. How are you, Gloria? Janet, Helen, happy with sneak peeks either way. So it's just a sneak peek. They don't get all the goss. They don't get all the goods over the next 3 days. It's just a little sneak peek. Hello, Judy and Bob. Fishing. So I hope you catch some fish. I believe you're up in the Riverland having a bit of a few days off. So enjoy, guys. Hi, Ray. How are you? Good to see you. Hello, Cynthia. How's your toothache? It is awful, Cynthia. Honestly, guys, I'm a mess right about now. My gym class that I did Monday morning, everything hurts. Everything hurts when I bend down, when I get up. Everything takes twice as long to do anything because my muscles are so sore from my pump class, and I have the most awful toothache right here. I don't know what's caused it. I'm just wishing it will go away because I don't want to go to a dentist. I don't like dentists. I can't remember the last time I went to a dentist, but it's awful, Cynthia. But thank you for asking. I'll get through it. Nothing painkillers can't help, hopefully. Yes, Ford, congrats to Crystal on 3 wonderful years. Hello, Faye, good to see you on. We've got Michael, we've got Olive, Brenda is here as well. Thank you to Ford, Patricia. Catching anything? So I think you're talking to Judy and Bob about fishing. Hello, Cindy. We got Laurie. You need this right now. Okay, awesome. Hello, Beth. Who could leave with all this valuable information? Olive's got is a life member. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you here. Look at all these wonderful people. We've got Andrea on as well. We've got Anya. I don't like dentists either, no. But anyway, if I have to, I have to, but I'm just trying to avoid it as long as I can. But yeah, it's not very nice. Have you guys had toothaches before? It's just one of those types of pains that's not very nice, that's for sure. But let's get on to the content for today. So what I'm going to share with you, so what I'm sharing in the boot camp is a couple of things. One of the things that's working right now, one of the 9 things that I'm about to mention is, Facebook stories. So over the next few days, I'm going to go through a whole lot of different strategies regarding Facebook stories, features that you've probably never seen before, how to put good content together, gain curiosity and all those kind of things. So that's one of the 9 that I'm just about to mention. And over the next couple of days, I'm going to go through basically how do you adopt Facebook stories to grow your business and create curiosity. So that's a huge part of what I'm going through in the boot camp. So if you're not utilizing stories, you're really missing opportunities. Stories is, as you may be aware, it's called ephemeral content. So it's only there for 24 hours, but you can archive it and keep it. You can reuse it later for different things. You can repurpose content that you've already done. But there's lots of different things that you can do with stories. But the beautiful thing about stories is that when somebody reacts to it, responds to it, says something quick, it goes straight into your messenger and enables you to have personal conversations, which is exactly where Facebook wants you. Facebook wants you to have, conversations with people, and by people hitting straight in your messenger by a story that you've done, that's exactly where Facebook sort of wants you and enables you to then sort of start conversations without you having to make the initial reaction. So Facebook stories is a huge part of the boot camp that I'm going through. But let me just do a quick recap for you I'm in a lot of sort of online communities. Many of you will know that I'm a mentor in a particular community of over 100,000 entrepreneurs on their public Facebook page, and I mentor students, at the very highest level of building a business online. And so I get a really good insight as to what people are doing, what they're creating, what kind of posts they're putting out there, what's getting the most interaction and engagement. So these 9 ideas I'm giving you are, something, if you're not in the coaching community, you might want to jot them down. They shouldn't be anything new to you, but they should be, indicators of what you should focus on regarding getting the most bang for your buck on social media right now, what's working right now. Stories I would put right at the top of that. Okay, so if you're not embracing stories, you might want to start to, because you're missing out on huge opportunities. Okay, so that's 1, Facebook stories. So the other ones that are working really well at the moment, just questions with the where's my phone? I've got it plugged in here. just with the background color. So hopefully you know what I mean by that when I'll go into my Facebook, just quickly do that. And so I'm just in my personal profile there. It could be business page, it doesn't really matter. What's on your mind, like if I just do a post and then I come down here and I just choose background color and then I pop in a question. Okay, so that's what I mean by questions with a background color. So that's a really effective form of post, that's working today for people. Fill in the blank posts as well is something that's really effective. So, you might say, I'm curious, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? And you literally have a blank line. So you ask a specific question, but you're asking somebody's opinion regarding what their thoughts are about something, but you're letting them fill in the blank. So that triggers so what I'm going to go through in the boot camp as well, for those of you in the coaching community, we're going to talk about some psychological triggers that make people react or, trigger somebody to be curious about something. And one of the psychological triggers is people love having their own opinion. Like, do you know people in your world that just, they do more talking than they do listening? There are some people out there that just love the sound of their own voice. But more important, psychologically, it's just people love to be heard. It doesn't mean that they, have huge ego or anything, but people like to give their opinion. They like to contribute sometimes, but generally people just like to be heard. So when you ask them and ask people's opinion, there is a large proportion of the population that do like to comment in because they like to put their opinion forward. So just, asking somebody to sort of fill in the blanks. Now, those of you in the coaching community, I've got a whole lot of examples regarding words and questions, and I've written all of that out for you. Of all sorts of ready to go examples for you that you can adopt. Okay. So that's all that will all be in the boot camp. So there's the stories is one, Facebook stories, the feature, or Instagram stories. There's even stories popping up on, LinkedIn and YouTube. So when I say stories, it can be across the board on different social media platforms. So the concept is the same. Wherever you like to hang out, I concentrate mainly on Facebook, but if your jam is Instagram, then you just interpret everything that I say with stories over to Instagram, okay? So the stories is number one, questions with a background color. Number two, fill in the blank post. Number three, written text post with an image. So good old written text posts with a nice image of some sort. And when I say image, like something like a selfie or something of you, something smiling, not stock images, which people can pick a mile away, not something that's promotional, just something that's coming from the heart, like some kind of written post, an expression of yourself, your feelings, what you've been up to, what you've experienced. So written text posts, but putting, a nice image with it, because people are very visual. So they will be attracted to an image sometimes before they're attracted to the words. So good old written story post, but not from a promotional angle, from an actual, sort of human storytelling example. Okay. Positive quotes or a question or question image posts. So what's working quite well with that now is just not so much, I do it. A lot of you guys would do it. Just, a particular sort of positive quote type post, but those that have got you on them in the background with some wording, with a question or something like that. So it's an image, but it's, effectively, hopefully, of you doing something, but you've layered it in some way. Maybe you've used a particular app. I'll give you some suggestions in the boot camp, guys, to layer certain things with an image and then a question and maybe a sticker or an emoji or a GIF or something like that on the top of it. So sort of similar strategies that we would create in stories, but it's a nice image with some kind of statement or question sort of on it. So sort of what I call positive quote or question image posts is what I mean by that. And there's various different apps that you can use. So I'll run through that in the boot camp as well as to what I use and how I create those. Okay. Posts that share tips and training. So I'm hoping that's not a new one to you. Like, we really want to lead with value, on social media. That is definitely what is working now more than ever before, rather than just leading with a post that's got a picture of a product that's selling, something to do with tips and trainings. You can be really smart about that, and you might have 5 tips to increase your energy, or 5 tips to lose weight. 4 of them are generic ones that would help, like drink more water or exercise or things like that. And then your 5th tip might be regarding choosing a supplement that, blocks your carbs, those kind of things. So, it's a value-based post, but it actually creates some curiosity about maybe a product that you can promote of yours, but you actually haven't said what it is, but it's something that's quite substantial to maybe weight loss. You see what I mean by that? So posts that actually bring in maybe a product of yours, or a benefit of a product of yours, without saying what the product is, but you're bringing it into a value-based, post regarding tips and trainings. Next one, posts that redirect to a free training in a free group. Now, this may or may not be relevant to you guys, but if you've got a free group that you run, or somebody you're connected to runs, and they can get a whole lot of value in that group, and that's something that you can draw people to. So you're the instigator, you're the referral into something like that, and they can get some extra value, some extra training or something like that in a third party, but it's led from a post of yours, but it's coming from, do a free water challenge, or a weight loss challenge, or a video challenge, or whatever it is, in whatever niche area that you are in. But if you can be the tour guide to help somebody get some information that is going to help them in their world with whatever they're dealing with, that can actually be a really effective strategy for building a relationship and a communication that can lead to other things regarding your business. So that works particularly well at the moment, is using groups in a way that is essentially like a funnel. You're funneling somebody through to give them more helpful training or tips or information. You're building the relationship that way. So using groups in that way, you may or may not have that available to you, depending where you are in your journey, what your business has available, things like that. But if you can utilize that kind of funnel, it works extremely well. Okay. Short little videos. Now, I'm not talking live videos here. I'm talking about little promo videos that you can put a few photos of yourself, or a few expressions, words, statements, and it's got some music behind it. And like, it's just a 30-second or a minute video. So I've actually got training on this in my free group, Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners, in one of the units, section Unit 2. I think there's a video on the app that I use for that. But just being a little bit creative. So anything that you can do that stands out from the crowd, like any kind of post that you can do, or things that you can create that the average person doesn't know how to, it does help, create more curiosity and eyeballs on you, because it's different. Okay, so that's something that works really well as well. Obviously, a no-brainer is not only those kind of short videos, which you actually physically put together, they're not live, they're sort of like more creative videos, is the last one, the 9th one, is Facebook Live videos. Obviously, that is definitely something that's working well now. It's one of the things that I attribute the success in my business and things that's led to for my network marketing business and other things, is doing live videos. So if that's something that you're still fearful of, it's something that you do, I would encourage you really to embrace and get on top of, because it doesn't take that long, really. I mean, those of you that have been there in that situation where you've been fearful and you've overcome them and now you love them, please comment in and let other people know it doesn't take that long to get rid of your fear, because it's definitely one of those things that is very popular now, works well now, because now more than ever, people are looking for genuine, authentic, people that have real lives, real opinions behind the scenes. Like, we're going to go into depth with this, in the boot camp, guys. But that's just a bit of an overall sort of summary in the different types of posts that you can do, because where a lot of people get stuck is content creation. I don't know what to post. I don't know what kind of things to post. And they end up posting the same things over and over again, or making the same mistakes over and over again. So when you can have a variety of different kinds of styles of posts as well, from like a little video that you've created to a fill in the blank to a question with a background color to, you know, a Facebook Live, you know, the different types of post delivery styles, your Facebook presence is going to be more interesting for people to look at when you've got the same thing going up all the time. Even those people that overdo it with selfies. Have you got some people, I mean, it's more of an Instagram thing, but some people just love overdoing it, you know, with the selfies, you know, and people sometimes get sick of it, or they promote them same things. I've got people in the industry that they think they're creating curiosity, but it's just the same type of post over and over and over again. And whether it's in the stories or in the newsfeed, I'm like, oh, I'm so over seeing this same kind of stuff. And I'm swiping because there's no variety. There's no different kind of content. So you don't want to be stuck with that either. You might find something that works, but you don't want to, you know, overdo it because people get bored. Okay, so that's important to remember as well. But what we're going to go through in the boot camp as well is I've got a whole lot of different kind of questions and fill in the blanks. Like I've got a whole lot of different ones. We're going to go through the psychology of what makes people act now. We're going to go through Facebook stories and all sorts of creative things that you can do that you may not even know existed before. So we're going to have some fun, guys, in the next 3 days. Again, if some of you are not in our coaching community but you want to join us, now is the best time to join us, because at the moment you get access to all my other boot camps since I created the coaching community like a year and a half ago. So there's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of training sitting in there, from Facebook advertising to groups to content creation to blending to you know, bots to landing page, like lead magnets, to you name it, it's all in there. So it's all included when you get into the coaching community. So you don't want to miss that while it's still available. Now, I just caught a comment from Susan, so this is definitely worth highlighting. This is, maybe I should do this before the boot camp, Susan. What do you think? Numb your tooth with Grand Marnier. That might be interesting if I, during the boot camp, I'll just be going, yeah, bite on a whole clove of what? Bite on a whole clove. Oh, like a clove, and it will numb the tooth pain till you can get to the dentist. Don't want an infection to go to the, oh, don't say things like that, Heather. You'll be in bigger trouble if it does. Oh, I didn't even think of infection. So maybe I do need to go to the dentist. I never thought I would love going live 2 or 3 years ago, but I do, thanks to Helen's video challenge. Yeah, Crystal is an amazing success story from, you know, an original video challenge that she did. I absolutely really enjoy going live and engaging with viewers while live. And this is, you know, that's a pretty obvious one that you might know of, but, you know, regarding what's working now, live videos, just nothing sort of trumps that, because it's the only real way that people get to hear you. So, and know that you are genuine and authentic and that you can talk from the heart. And it doesn't come naturally necessarily in the beginning. It certainly didn't for me. I've shared many a time here that, you know, coming from corporate, I was very corporate when I first came on live video, and I was trying to be corporate. I was trying to memorize everything that I needed to say because I wasn't confident in what I was saying. Like, you know, you can only get better at live video the more that you do. Olive, the live video challenge definitely got me doing lives on a regular basis. Would never be here, would never be where I am without it. Gloria, these Go Live challenges help me over the hump, especially when you're guided with the topics for day to day. Yeah, and that's the hardest part. Some people just don't know what to say. So we can sort of kickstart that, you know, with the content, because I give it to you in the challenge. Yes, actually working on being more consistent with my live videos, and people actually ask me if they haven't seen me do it in a few days. You know what that means, Steph? It means that people are watching. And you'll be surprised, guys. Some of you will do live videos and you go, who would want to watch me? Nobody's going to watch me. Some of you will be doing them and you don't think anybody's watching you, but there is always somebody watching, guys. There's always somebody watching. Me too, Crystal. I never thought I would have done them either. Bootcamp is going to be great. It sure is. I love every bootcamp. We're on bootcamp number 19. Yeah, so I think it's 21 or something, but the others are training videos or something like that. So there's thousands of dollars worth of content in the coaching community. Thanks. Oh, I don't want to hear that because I know you're right. I learned how to do dots on my stories. Okay. What do you mean, bullet points? What do you mean, Judy and Bob? I just need to get better on lives and talk like you do, professional yet laid back. So darn good. You're very natural on your lives, Crystal. I stayed consistent going live 3 days a week. Awesome. I never would have done live videos ever if I didn't do your video challenge. My live video was so great yesterday. It was so, amazing. And Beth's getting more, views than ever. So you should be very proud of what you're achieving at the moment, Beth. Well done. But it takes, action to do it. The only person that can kickstart your business, make it better than it already is, get more connections with people, on social media is if you do the things that you need to do. So take those 9 post delivery types, bring them into your content creation mix them up and do different ones. You don't want to do, like, if you did a question every day on your social media, people are going to get sick of seeing them and they won't engage with them because they're like, oh, I'm over this. They're only doing it for a strategy. So, you don't want to take any one of those and do them over and over again. Apart from stories, you could do 10, 20 times a day, every single day. Stories is one of those things that you want more of rather than less of. Regarding the other things that you put in a normal sort of news feed, maybe 2 to 3 times a day maximum in a general news feed. The reason for that is the algorithm and your own content competing with each other. So when you go overboard in your news feed, you're competing with your own content. That's not the same in stories. Stories has a separate algorithm. That's where Facebook wants you to play, wants people to interact and engage with you to get you into Messenger. That's where they want people. So they favor Facebook stories, and you can never be too boring in stories. We can be silly in Facebook stories. You can be more creative in stories. You can be more forthright about your business in stories. Like, there's so many things you can do in stories that you can't really get away with in your newsfeed. Especially, we've got to keep in the back of our mind, guys, that we are not meant to be building side businesses, network marketing business, direct sales business on our personal profiles. We've just got to be very mindful of that, because if we're too forthright with that, it can get us into trouble. It can get your personal profile shut down. And it does happen. A lot of people are doing it the wrong way, and they're not getting shut down, but it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder. So we just got to be mindful of that as well. But stories, you can create great curiosity, but we've got to do it fast, because the content's only there for 24 hours and they're literally only looking at it for seconds, and then we're on to the next story. So there's a real strategy around how to use stories effectively, and that's what we'll be going through in the boot camp as well. Okay, Judy and Bob, you can do that. You can show me something. Over the time, everyone in the challenges are feeling so much at ease, and I tell us I love going live after a few times. Yeah, I have some people on my stories that have liked 15 to 20 stories back to back. I just swipe. I don't like it when they post so many. You mean when they're doing too many? Depends what they're doing, because you can. Yeah, we'll talk about that in the boot camp. So, well, like anything, you can obviously overdo it. So we'll have a chat about that. Your lives are amazing. Thank you. With the 4x4x48 challenge on the weekend, I got so many interactions with the stories. It was great. Well, there you go. And there's very good reason behind that, which we'll go into much more detail in the boot camp. So talking about that, we are live over there in the coaching community in 15 minutes, guys. So I'm going to wrap up this live. So for those of you in my coaching community, I will see you over there in 15 minutes for day 1 of our What's Working Now boot camp. And then tomorrow and the next day, we will do it again. We'll get into some really creative stuff during this boot camp, and hopefully give you some great ideas as to what's working now to, just help you create more content and effective content. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, guys. It's always a pleasure to be here with you live and have you guys interacting in. I appreciate you guys more than you will ever realize. And those of you in the coaching community, I will see you over there in 15 minutes. Bye, guys.